we delve into a crucial and concerning issue that revolves around the impact of uranium mining in Niger, shedding light on the environmental hazards and health risks faced by the local population. Stay tuned as we explore the aftermath of decades-long operations by the French company Uranium, revealing the alarming situation near the Akota mine. But before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get started. If you come across the name Niger, it likely recalls thoughts of a struggling African nation, often forgotten amidst the challenges faced by our continent. Many might even mistake it for Nigeria or struggle to locate it on the map. For most of us, Niger is just another overlooked country, except for those with ties to the Maghreb countries, perhaps due to their proximity. Nonetheless, these nations hold significant importance on the continent, with Niger standing out as a key player. Covering an area almost 1.3 times the size of Egypt and boasting a population that is over 98% Muslim, Niger stands as a vital entity. Despite being the world's third poorest country, trailing only South Sudan and Chad, and grappling with an unforgiving climate, including periodic droughts and desertification, Niger possesses vast natural resources. Beneath its challenging surface lies a wealth of treasures that we'll delve into shortly. On the 26th of last July, Niger thrust itself back into the global spotlight, capturing the attention of people worldwide. The reason? General Abdurrahman Tiani, commander of the Presidential Guard, took a stand against Niger's president and close ally of France, Mohamed Bazoum, leading to his ousting. This event unfolded amid rising tensions and widespread discontent with French colonial practices in the country. The repercussions of the coup became evident as supporters flooded the streets, marching towards the French embassy in a massive protest France's political and military presence in Niger, particularly its exploitation of the nation's natural resources, notably uranium. However, France's transgressions extend beyond resource theft, involving a significant disaster inflicted upon the people of Niger: radioactive waste. This raises critical questions about what exactly is happening in Niger and the catastrophe France has caused in one of the world's largest uranium mines. How did Niger find itself surrounded by a sea of radioactive waste? These are the pressing and grave questions we aim to address in today's episode, a must-watch until the end. This is Niger, home to some of the poorest people on Earth. The impoverished populace of Niger grapples with daily challenges, struggling to secure food and access clean drinking water. A staggering 42% of the country's population lives in extreme poverty, with an additional 60% experiencing multi-deprivation. This term encompasses the lack of access to essential services such as healthcare and education, along with deficiencies in water, sanitation, humane housing conditions, and the ability to own a home. Even if homes are found, they lack basic amenities like electricity. Remarkably, Niger possesses substantial natural resources, including uranium and gold. As the world's seventh largest producer of uranium, Niger's wealth is primarily derived from this resource. However, the extraction operations are almost entirely controlled by a single country, France. Despite the nation's riches, the Nigerian people's plight contrasts sharply with the benefits reaped by the French, as Niger's uranium illuminates their homes, provides warmth, and powers their factories. To underscore this dependence, consider that 3 out of every 4 lamps in France are powered by Niger's uranium, fueling their nuclear reactors responsible for generating 70% of the country's electricity. Uranium, a crucial yet perilous natural element, undergoes a series of processes to produce concentrated uranium oxide, known as yellowcake, a low radioactivity yellow powder stored in barrels. After further processing, yellowcake is utilized in manufacturing nuclear reactor fuel. Notably, uranium holds applications beyond energy production, including hydrogen bombs, nuclear weapons, radiation therapy for certain cancers, and uses ballast in ships and aircraft, as well as ammunition and shields. As of July 30th, the global market price for uranium oxide, yellowcake, was $56.23 per pound, translating to approximately $130 per kilogram. Examining the global uranium production map for 2022 reveals that Kazakhstan leads, followed by Canada, Namibia, Australia, Uzbekistan, Russia, Niger, and the rest of the world. Notably, until 2015, Niger ranked as the 4th largest uranium producer globally, but a subsequent decline in production dropped it to 7th place in 2022. The Somer mine, situated near the northwest city of Arlet, stands as Niger's sole operating uranium mine. Operated by the company Somair, 63.4% of its ownership belongs to the French company Uranium, with the remaining 36.6% held by Sapamine, a Nigerian government-owned entity overseeing mining activities. Formerly known as Areva before 2018, Uranium is a colossal French company dominating uranium mining in Niger and holding most of the country's reserves in this mineral. Owned primarily by the French government, Uranium stands as one of the world's largest nuclear fuel productions companies. In 2021, Uranium held the position of the world's third-largest uranium producer, contributing to 11% of global production. Over the past 4 decades, it has been the instrument through which France exploits Niger's uranium wealth, extracting it at low costs and making minimal payments to the Nigerian government. The extracted uranium is then shipped to France to fuel its nuclear reactors. The recent coup in Niger, resulting in the overthrow of Mohamed Bazoum's government, has created concerns for the French. The uncertainty arises not from an immediate and permanent hostility from the new regime towards France, but from the potential impact on the ongoing exploitation of Niger's uranium. While the actions of the new Nigerian regime, such as cutting diplomatic ties and halting the export of uranium and gold to France, suggest hostility toward French presence, the French are apprehensive about the future. The looting of Niger's uranium is crucial for France, supporting the operation of 56 nuclear reactors across 18 power stations, consuming approximately 8,000 tons of uranium annually. This formidable nuclear arsenal not only generates 70% of France's domestic electricity, but also positions the country as the largest net source of nuclear energy globally, generating over €3 billion annually. Niger stands as one of the top 3 uranium suppliers to France, meeting about 20% of the country's needs in the last decade. Examining the uranium mines in Niger, the French company Uranium has a second mine under development, the Uranium mine, holding one of the world's largest uranium reserves. Located approximately 50 miles south of Arlet, experts anticipate an annual production of 5,000 tons of uranium deposits over the next 35 years. Despite obtaining permission to operate the mine in 2009, Uranium ceased operations in 2014 due to the collapse of uranium prices following the Japanese Fukushima disaster in 2011. The company's website states that the Uranium mine will resume operations when market conditions allow. Notably, there are lingering questions about why successive Nigerian governments did not revoke the license from Uranium, despite the company not extracting any uranium from the site in the past 14 years. Of particular interest is the company's report on mining activities in September 2022, emphasizing ongoing research and development to assess the feasibility of operating and extracting uranium from the Uranium mine using various extraction methods. The hidden motives behind the French company's brief statements become apparent in a report published by the renowned intelligence periodical Africa Intelligence in early February. According to the report, Uranium claims that extracting uranium from the Uranium mine is economically unfeasible due to the current low prices of the metal. This assertion, however, contradicts the reality of uranium prices as previously explained, with the current rate standing at $130 per kilogram. Notably, Uranium reported profits of €4.7 billion in 2021, equivalent to $5.5 billion, even when average uranium prices in that year were nearly half of the current rates. The likely reason behind the French company's claims is a strategy of delay in activating the right to use the Uranium mine and extract uranium. This delay may be aimed at employing a controversial extraction method, specifically in situ recovery, ISR. ISR involves extracting uranium from the ground without traditional digging and soil movement. Instead, an acidic solution is injected into the ground to dissolve uranium in sediments, and the resulting liquid is withdrawn to a processing plant for uranium extraction. While this method reduces extraction costs for mining companies, it poses an environmental catastrophe for local landowners, polluting the ground and groundwater with toxic uranium. Uranium has a precedent for such actions in Niger, exemplified by the Akota mine, considered one of the world's largest uranium mines. Located near the mining town of Akakan in southwest Arlet, the mine was owned by Cominac, predominantly controlled by Uranium. Operating since 1978, the Akota mine depleted all its ore reserves, leading to its closure in March 2021 after 43 years of uranium extraction, totaling 75,000 tons. In 2014, Reuters exposed Uranium's practices, revealing that mines controlled by Areva at the time, now Orano, did not pay export duties on extracted uranium, nor did they pay taxes on materials and equipment imported for mining operations. The company only paid a minimal 5.5% tax on the uranium produced, highlighting the colonial practices employed by the company. It's as if Niger never officially gained independence from French occupation in 1960. However, the real disaster for the people of Niger unfolded in the aftermath. Consider this: when a company engages in uranium mining, the traditional method involves removing the topsoil and digging into the rock to reach the uranium ore. However, this ore is not the concentrated uranium desired. It needs further processing to become uranium oxide or yellowcake. To achieve this, the ore is placed in a mill, resulting in two products: the desired uranium oxide slowcake and the byproduct known as radioactive waste. Herein lies the problem. Typically, mining companies store the radioactive waste in designated ponds, securely locked. But since the closure of the Akota mine, Orano has deviated from this practice. For over 40 years, the company has left an astounding 20 million tons of radioactive waste exposed near the mine site, covering an expansive area of 296 acres in piles that reach 35 meters in height. To illustrate the scale, envision 176 soccer fields laid side by side, completely covered by the 20 million tons of radioactive waste, with the layer being several meters high. This vast expanse of radioactive waste has been left unattended for years, openly discarded. The two mining cities, Akakan and Arlet, housing over 200,000 people, are near this hazardous site. The Commission for Independent Research and Information on Radioactivity, CRIRAD, based in France, warns that the 20 million tons of radioactive waste dumped by Orano at the mine site emit a toxic gas called radon through the natural decomposition of uranium. Radon, if inhaled in concentrated doses, is highly harmful and is considered the second most common cause of lung cancer in the United States after cigarettes, especially among smokers, and the primary cause among non-smokers. The strong desert winds in the region disperse this radioactive dust, and residents living around the mine in the two cities inhale varying amounts of it. This contamination not only affects the air but also pollutes the soil and water in the vicinity, presenting a severe threat to the health and well-being of the local population. The most pressing concern surrounding this nuclear waste dump is its proximity to agricultural lands, raising the specter of food contamination for the local population. Greenpeace, a globally recognized environmental organization, was granted access to the area a few years ago to conduct tests and research on the soil, water, and air quality in Akakan and Arlet. Their findings indicated radiation concentrations approximately 500 times higher than normal. Disturbingly, spending just 1 hour per day in this location over a year would expose individuals to radiation levels 10 times higher than the annual dose limit, contrary to reassurances by Orano officials who claim radiation levels are normal. Greenpeace also discovered pieces of radioactive scrap metal being sold at the local market in Arlet, with radiation levels 50 times higher than normal. Water samples from the Arlet area revealed that 4 out of every 5 samples had uranium concentrations exceeding the limit recommended by the World Health Organization. Adding to the environmental woes, the aquifer, once over 150 meters deep, has dried up due to Orano's extensive use of about 270 billion liters of water over more than 40 years of mining operations. Livestock in the region has also fallen victim to contamination, with grazing animals showing signs of illness due to the radioactive dust settling on pastures. Environmental activists estimate that the environmental disaster caused by the French company Orano in the Akota mine area could potentially cost billions of dollars. Orano vehemently denies any wrongdoing, asserting that the Nigerian people are unaffected. Bruno Cheririn, a French nuclear energy engineer from the CRIRAD laboratory, accuses Orano of misleading the public by providing false information. He points out disparities in pollution level measurements, highlighting that while Orano claims to have found nothing concerning in water samples, the laboratory's measurements indicate dangerous pollution levels. The impact of these environmental issues on the health of the local population is evident. The Agaran Man Association, a local nonprofit in Niger, reports a surge in severe health issues among male and female miners. Common ailments include digestive disorders, cancer, infertility, birth defects, miscarriages, and more. However, due to financial support from Orano to some local hospitals, doctors and administrations refrain from linking these diseases, particularly lung cancer, to radioactivity. Despite the closure of the mine, environmental activists argue that Orano should have taken immediate steps to secure and bury the radioactive waste using globally accepted methods. The ongoing impact on the health and well-being of the local population remains a grave concern. Unfortunately, until now, the proper measures to secure and contain the radioactive waste near the Akota mine have not been taken. When questioned about the delay, Orano's subsidiary, Cominac, claims that they have plans to build a container to secure the waste. The proposed solution involves covering the waste with a 2-meter layer of mud and rocks to contain the radiation. However, skepticism among residents persists as they lack trust in the company's intentions. There are also valid concerns that the layer used to cover the waste might fail and develop cracks, especially during potential floods. In the event of cracks, cancer-causing radon gas could leak out, mixing with water and posing a significant threat to the entire area. The project is anticipated to cost $160 million, and Cominac plans to dedicate 10 years to its completion before handing over the site to the government of Niger. The skepticism among the local population, coupled with fears of potential failures in the containment measures, raises doubts about the effectiveness of the planned solution. In concluding the report, thoughts and wishes for the safety and well-being of the people in Niger are expressed, with hopes for stability and reduced stress. A question is posed to the audience regarding the potential impact of the recent coup on the French presence in Niger, seeking opinions on whether the influence of France will persist despite the political changes. As we conclude today's episode, our thoughts are with the people of Niger facing the environmental fallout caused by uranium mining. We hope for their safety and well-being. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Your engagement helps raise awareness about critical issues. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, take care and goodbye.